Hey guys, today I want to share something with you that I personally thought was a pretty lucky find, if I say so myself. First, let me give you a little bit of background info on the Dutch state translation of the Bible. Yeah, it's a state translation, also known as the authorized version in Dutch. 1604, King James ordered the creation of the King James Bible, as you all probably know, which got finished in 1611. Anyways, shortly after, the Dutch, which had broken off of the Catholic Spanish Empire, mainly because they did not let us be Protestants, did not accept the Protestant religion. So that's how we got our independence, because we wanted to be Protestant. Anyways, we did not have a decent translation. Any existing translations that was out there was either translations of translations, and there was the translation by Martin Luther King. So in 1626, the government of the Dutch Republic ordered the creation of a new translation. A translation that should be as accurate to the original scriptures as possible. It's in copy of the King James Version. Let me use copy. Imitation, that's the word. In imitation of the King James Version. So in 1626, the government of the Dutch Republic ordered to create the new translation, which got finished in 1637, which had a big impact on the Netherlands. Not only because we had an accurate translation of the Bible, just like the King James, it also had a great effect on the Dutch language. Basically unifying the different cultures in the country. Its impact had such a the translation had such a big impact on the country. It's been admitted in the canon of the Netherlands. Bilingual Bibles didn't really exist until the 1700s, where King James versions would be compared to the Dutch counterpart, the state translation, and some French Bibles. So yeah, that's a little bit of background information. I kinda messed up there with my sometimes crooked English. Sometimes it's really great, sometimes it's really bad, but hey. Anyways, I was at a secondhand store today. So I just needed to get out of the house, so I figured, why not? Let's go there. And they had a boot department, and I found some cool stuff. Actually, when I got home, I found out I got actually more than I thought, but hey. So let's start with this big guy. Okay, I think I found a good camera angle. So this big guy is that state translation. It's really old. In fact, it was printed in 1940, the beginning of World War II. So yeah, that's pretty old. There's some writing in the front. Geloof in de Heer Jezus Christus en gij zult zalig worden. Ga je in uw huis. Acts 16:31. It got a little text above it. It was donated by the Reformed. I can't really make out the second word. Society, I think, is translated the third word. So the Reformed something society, and I think under there it says the name. And the top left is the price of the second-hand store. It's done with pencil, so I could probably remove that, or I could leave it in just to add to that, you know. There's a library stamp. I gotta cut the video here for a minute, because I actually did find out what the stamp means, and it's not a library at all. It was the owner of the Bible, Pastor Nine. This guy, this is unfortunately the only picture I could find of him. It's a picture on the back of one of the books he wrote. He actually wrote several books, and he was quite active in the war, so it seems. When he got the book, he was living in Apeldoorn. He was living in this exact house. At the moment the house is empty and it is for sale. So this is where he lived, right next to the church where he preached. The church does not longer exist. It got torn down recently, so we're lucky it's still on Google Maps here. It was Reformed Protestant church. So it was a Reformed Protestant pastor. He moved into this town in 1929, so it is possible that he did not start preaching in this church until 1940, when this book got printed, and he might have received it from the church. Either that or he received it from some other organization affiliated with the same religion, Reformed Protestant. But I think it is most likely that he got it when he started preaching in the church. He actually did order some books. Here we got one. Als er geen bezoek is, when there is no visitors. Obviously I have not read any of these books. I just got this Bible today. I'm just making this video today. And it was really hard to find anything about him actually, and he did quite a lot. I was actually quite surprised that there was not a Wikipedia page dedicated to him, not even on the Dutch Wikipedia. Another book besides you. We already seen this one. Here's a lot of his sermons that actually got published. I don't think that happens anymore in these days, does it? But there's 3 pages on Google Books. that have his sermons. Some are quite interesting, cause some of them are, well, most of them are preached in the war, during the war, in occupied territory, and some of them speak against the Germans, and he's telling the youth, especially the youth, to don't give up, keep on fighting. Um, let's see where that sermon is. Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll get to that anyways. Right here. Here's one of the here is one of the pamphlets he made in World War II. This was made in 1941, so the war was already on for a year. Where he calls up to all young Christians, the Christian youth. He's calling to them to keep on fighting, don't give in. This website is, let's see, it's in the category propaganda, pamphlets and education material from World War II. So there might be actually more of him here, I don't know. Let's have a look. And it's loading a bit, so oh, there we go. No, I think that's the only one. Anyways, it's quite interesting to look at. Actually, this example I noticed it has a library stamp, so you can actually read it if you can find it. Library, or obviously. Let's see. Like Institute for War Documentation. Oh, it's in some library dedicated to war documentation. But actually you can read the whole thing here. It's 24 pages and it's quite interesting. So he was kind of an activist in the war, and that's not all he did. He also in the war he helped getting food supplies to his Jewish countrymen, because you know what happened to the Jews here in the Netherlands, right? So yeah, he helped them. He did not give in to the Germans, and there's a lot of pastors who actually did give in to the Germans, but he did not. And after the war, he actually started a new job to be a spiritual counselor at a prisoner of war camp. So basically where the Germans and the NSB people, NSB are basically traitors of the Netherlands who were wrong in the war. They were kept there, and he was their spiritual counselor. So yeah, this guy has been pretty busy, and he's been preaching and spreading the word all throughout the war, and it's not unlikely he used this Bible to do so, to give the people hope. So that people keep on fighting. Don't give up. There's hope. And I think just that possibility, because it remains a possibility, because you might just have gotten it and put it away, right, and use the other Bible. Although the Bible seems very well used, so there's a high possibility that this is the Bible he used. throughout the war. And I think that adds a little bit of value to this specific Bible. Obviously, I don't mean that in the sense of money, more of a personal value. Anyways, let's go back to the rest of the video. I really like the fact that it's from 1940, beginning of World War II, and I also like the fact that it's pretty worn out. And actually, after seeing the stamp again, I'm not sure that actually was a library, but either way, it's been read a lot, either by a lot of people or by one person. Who knows for how long? This Bible has been around, and I think that kind of makes it special. I mean, there's probably a lot of people who think it's trash. I mean, a regular old book. I mean, aside from it being a Bible, it doesn't have much going for it, right? But that's not the way I see it. I think it's very special. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Another thing I noticed, unlike with modern Bibles, if you go to the index, let me change the camera. Okay, if you go to the index, you will notice here's the index of the Old Testament, and the way this Bible works, normally you would have an index of the Old Testament, the New Testament, but this actually acts like two books. So here you got the Old Testament. If you want to have the index of the New Testament, you gotta go to the end of the Old Testament. Page 887 is the last book. That's the last book. There we go. We are at page 892, and there you find the index of the New Testament all the way over there. So that's not really handy. But I guess that's how they did it back in those days. So yeah, I found that quite interesting. I think that's all the anomalies I found. Revelation. It's got a nice font to it. It's very clear, easy to read, very nice. The sides, they show some signs of damp air. There's some damage from damp air. That's a shame, but fortunately it's only the sides, and it's really only visual. It hasn't done enough damage to really affect the touch and everything, and didn't go through till the inner pages. So yeah, I'm really happy I found this one. Personally, I think it's a really nice find. A Bible that's been around.